Well, it's Record Store Day 2023, folks. Record Store Day, that's a polarising day for a lot of people. Lots of people bitch and moan about it, lots of people love it, lots of people don't care. I'm kind of in the middle there. I don't care too much about it. I don't deliberately look up all the fancy Record Store Day releases. Most of them don't interest me. Some of them may do. If occasionally there's New Zealand ones released. That generally they're way overpriced. I don't want to go and stand in queues. So since 2018, I think was the last year where Penny Lane had a massive sale on Record Store Day where they would put 50% off the whole of the shop stock apart from Record Store Day the releases, and I suspect some other stuff which they couldn't afford to sell at that price, which they probably took off the shelves. But it was a bloody great sale, and I caught up with it for at least 2 to 3 years, and got quite big piles of records on those years. But that's no longer the case. So this year I didn't really have much idea what was coming out again, because I don't really follow what's getting released. But I do hear rumours of stuff, and I knew of a couple of records that were coming out. And the New Zealand ones never sell out, to be honest, most of the time, and they end up sticking around, or they get reissued in a lesser edition, a cheaper edition after the fact. And I believe there is one record that was out today that is getting issued in greater numbers in a couple of weeks. Anyway, today I did go to the record shop because I had to go into town to pick up some new appliances for our new kitchen, which is going in a few weeks. So yeah, we're on full-on renovation mode. It is now April 2022. Yeah, of course, April 22, Record Store Day. So I popped into town this morning, picked up the appliances, and went to the record shop about an hour after they had opened. So I missed the little rush there in the morning to get in there and get the limited releases that people wanted. By the time I got there wasn't so many people in the shop. It was actually quite quiet, considering. Like I say, when they had the sales on a few years back, the shop would have been pretty near chock-a-block, or pretty full. But that was not the case. So people got what they wanted, cleared off. So I came in. So I went and looked through the bins, and surprisingly there was a couple of things that interested me, and then I bought two things. So I actually bought 2 records out of the record store bins today, and then they had another 3 or 4 bins of slightly reduced new records. And then I had a look around some of the secondhand stuff. I wasn't there that long. So what I picked up today out of the Record Store Day releases is this one here first, which is playing in the background. And this is the only New Zealand one I picked up today. Now there was, I'm aware of the Pitch Black release. One of their records got reissued for Record Store Day. That's the one I mentioned that is getting a general release more in a couple of weeks. Because I didn't see a copy of it there, I may have picked it up depending on the price. So this one wasn't too bad. It was only $50 for a new record instead of the $70 or $80 that some of them were going for. Cloudboy. This is Cloudboy. Now this is down at the end of the garden. This is what's playing behind me. This is really nice. This is a nice, great Dunedin band from the early 2000s. I knew the name, but I didn't really know the music. The lead singer and maybe songwriter, Demania Lloyd. Her name was familiar to me, not quite sure why, but anyway, so I had a vague idea this record or this album was fairly well liked and critiqued in New Zealand, and an fairly important release. Been playing it tonight a couple of times, and I'm really quite impressed. It's nice, shoegazy, indie, atmospheric-y, kind of esoteric-y. Yeah, nice, really nice record. I'm impressed. I'm glad I picked up a copy. So yeah, this is the 20th anniversary remaster on Flying Nun. It was originally only released on CD, so this is the first time I believe on vinyl. So yeah, picked that up today. And the other one that I picked up out of the record store day bins was this one. This was a little bit more pricey. The reason I picked it up because it is a double LP, although in saying that, these soul jazz records, and I have quite a few soul jazz compilations. I do like them. I am impressed with them. I'm not into their reggae stuff, to be honest, that much, or their dub stuff, but a lot of the other ones they've done have been some pretty cool ones. And there's like, I got a lot of the punk ones they did recently, and I got a couple of the jazz ones they did. So New York Noise, this has been on my radar for many years, to be honest. And yeah, I mean, it's not super hard to get in the originals. It's been repressed I think a few times. So yeah, this is, you know, the record store day reissue on fairly heavy yellow vinyl. It's a bloody great compilation. I like it. I was aware of some of the bands, and like I say, it's been on my radar for many years. I even had a couple of records back in the day. I did have a Contortions record many years ago. I was familiar with material, and some of the names I was familiar with, maybe not so much the music. Of course, Alan Vega, I know. I do have Suicide's quite famous records. Is it self-titled, their album? I had a repress of that, a reissue of that. So that was a nice score, and I probably need to track down the other volumes. And then so I had a look in the new reduced price bins for the new stuff, and I mean, they usually have those bins there, but they obviously spiced it up a little bit more than the usual stuff. Most of the stuff that I see in those bins, well, if it's New Zealand stuff, I usually already have it. If not, it's stuff I have no idea what it is. But I did pick up this today. This is a reissue from 2021, I believe, with a different cover from the original release. Still on Matador. Cat Power's The Greatest from originally 2006. I have a few Cat Power, or Chan, her name is Chan Marshall, wasn't it? I have a few of her tracks on various compilations, some uncut compilations and some Matador stuff. I think most of those are quite earlier than this, so although I do have one track of this, I think on an uncut compilation, I was actually not that familiar with the stuff on here. So most of the tracks I believe I have of her, the ones that I really liked the most, were earlier records. So I enjoyed this, maybe not as much as I thought I was going to, but I got a feeling it's one of those ones that'll grow on me. I know this is probably rated as her best LP. And finally, out of today's haul, I really didn't want to leave this behind. It wasn't reduced by a lot. It was $10 off the mark, or $15 off the mark price. This is the 50th anniversary reissue from last year, 22, remastered, I believe. Remastered, an analog remaster from their original analog tapes. Now, who's the name of the man that someone who apparently is very well known for remastering, but I just can't find his name anywhere prominently. But you guys in the know, you'll know who it is. So this is one of the Zappa records. This is release number 16 in the Zappa Records reissue series, I believe. Or something like that. It says 16 on the back here. This is absolutely impressive. This is, I mean, all of the Zappa Records ones that I've picked up, and I haven't picked up a lot, but I have picked up half a dozen of them. They all sound utterly fantastic. The mastering, the remastering, the vinyl. This is just fantastic. You know, this is the clarity and the separation. And even though there's a lot happening, you can hear so much what's happening in the separation of the instruments. And this is just this is what it should be like. This is what all vinyl should be like. This is what all production should sound like, I think, to me, personally. This is just stunning. I guess this is what all those guys are sort of paying for when they buy all those MoFi releases and all that sort of stuff. Couple of New Zealand arrivals that have come out in the last few weeks. So I haven't made a video since February. It's now April. This came out, turned up on a Facebook page, and I had to jump on it. It's a limited edition, I think, of 150 copies. It's not numbered. Catharsis, The Sound of the Wellington Underground, 1989 to 1994. I'm not sure why it says 1989, because all of the tracks were recorded according to the liner notes in the early 90s. None of the bands I'd heard of before. It's quite a diverse collection, so you're thinking around that time that they're all going to be pretty heavy, grungy sort of stuff, and that's part of it. But, it's a little bit more diverse than that. Lush Burger, Amazing Broccoli, Corva, Scraper, Conventional Toasters. That's some of the names of the bands. The guy that put this compilation together, who was kind of promoting it on one of the Facebook pages that I'm on, he is in Skinshed, I think, which is the last band on this. So I've played this once or twice. I haven't had a chance to really listen to it many times, but I think it's going to grow on me. I was a little disappointed with it, but like I say, it's all very underground, unknown bands. Possibly this is some of the only things they recorded, or the only thing that there's that's ever been released. I mean, they played live around the circuits in the time, but they didn't release very much, if any. And this one here is one I've been waiting for quite some time. Pre-ordered this last year, and it just came out not that long ago. That's apparently the way it's supposed to go. So this is Devil's Gate Outfit, in Jazz from the Underground Nightclubs of Aotearoa Volume 5. This is the first one, I believe, on vinyl. Kiwi Jazz is the name of the Bandcamp page where this was on. I think the rest of the volumes are download only, no physical format. But these guys, or this label per se, has released something since then, which I don't have yet, and because I'm not buying a lot of New Zealand stuff. I'm trying to cut back on buying records this year, so I'm giving a lot of stuff a miss. Anyway, this is real quirky Wellington jazz, and some of the guys on this go way back to the Wellington jazz, Sprayle jazz scene back in the late 80s, early 90s, and this just reeks of it, to be honest. So yes, Anthony Donaldson and David Donaldson are two of the culprits from that time, and maybe I think there was another name or two on here that this is very quirky jazz, very quirky. So people who like the Braille sound from Wellington back in those days, they will like that a lot. I did pop into Penny Lane a couple of weeks or so ago, just because I was in town for a brief visit to do something. I picked up one. Well, to be honest, my wife and I were in town doing some stuff for the house, scouting for whatever we were doing. Oh, actually, I think it was we went in to look at the appliances that I picked up today and buy those. And she offered to pay for a record, or buy me a record. I went into Penny Lane and she bought some DVDs. I couldn't find anything I wanted, so she got away very lightly. But just prior to that, a week or two earlier, I'd been into the shop, and I don't think I've shown this yet. I picked up this. I'd seen it in there, and I was aware that this was one of the Lost Leader series compilations on, is it Reprise? Yeah, Warner Brothers Reprise. And I'd shown a bunch of those that I'd picked up, and these compilations are pretty cheap. It's in playable, pretty good playable condition, and I've cleaned it up. So this is called The Big Ball, and this one was from 1971, I believe. Not a lot of info on it. Yeah, oh, it's from March 1970. Yeah, this is 1970. Where's the track listing? So it's got this in a book. It doesn't seem to have a track listing inside here. There are some notes on some of the artists, and also some of the other artists that aren't on this collection are in the book here. So there's some pretty cool stuff on that. So I'm enjoying these compilations. So this is about the fourth one I've picked up. There were about a dozen of these compilations, I think, come out in the 70s or more. They were mail order only. And then in my last video, I showed you a truckload of King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard records, because I have been focusing on buying their discography as much as I can, as much as I can find in New Zealand at the moment. And they've got a vast discography, and they've got a lot of live stuff. So I'm not sure how much I've shown of those records. I showed a bunch of them, but quite a few more have come in, and there's actually still some more in the post. But okay, I'll show you what I did pick up. This recently, this one came in. This is their very first LP, 12 Bar Brews from 2011. Originally, this is a reissue because their original copies, I think, are pretty hard to find and go for quite a lot of money. A lot of the original pressings of their earlier stuff, some of them can go for several $100s now, but there are so many variations. So this is the Flightless record reissue from 2018 of their first LP. I'm quite impressed with it. I haven't played it a lot just yet. I've been busy with other stuff, and so I do remember a couple of tracks stuck out quite good for me. So yeah, I picked this up from one of the local shops up in the North Island. RIP bootlegs. So this is a bootleg of an official bootleg, they call them. But as I say, it's on Flightless Records. And also with that delivery came this one here. Also, I believe on Flightless Records, yes. And also a reissue. This is an EP, Willoughby's Beach. Yeah, Willoughby's Beach. Is it on coloured vinyl? I don't think it is. Oh, yes it is. This one is on this bright red vinyl. Yeah, this is Willoughby's Beach. So this is an EP. So it does play at 45 RPM, but there's quite a few songs on it. So it's like a mini LP, really. There is quite a bit on it. So slowly ticking them off the box, and I've actually got another 4 more coming that I picked up on Discogs, and I picked them up because the prices overseas are cheaper, but I actually managed to get them sent here for a reasonable postage. So I think the postage turned out more like about $10 each instead of $40 to $50 just for one record. And then finally this one, which I'd ordered through Flying Out, who I buy a lot of records through, but they don't have much in King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard, but I picked this one up through them. They did have to order it in from overseas. So it took about 3 weeks to get here on recycled black wax. So yeah, Explorations, LW, Explorations into Microtono Tuning Volume 3. And I think I've got Volume 2 on the way, and I know I have the very first one they did. So that came in this brown bag. Now, they have a shitload of live recordings, and as I mentioned maybe, and I don't know whether I showed one or not, but as I mentioned in my last video when I was showing all those King Gizzard records, they put up recordings that they do of their concerts from the soundboard. They master them, they stick them up on the internet as torrents for people to download them. They can make up their own artwork, they can press them up onto whatever fancy colours they want or whatever format they want to do, CD, tape, vinyl, blah blah blah, and they release them. So and the bands pretty much, they don't get any royalties or anything. Some of them they do ask if the people that are pressing them would send them some copies for them to sell, so make some money that way. So I'm assuming that hopefully happens. So it can end up being 40 to 50 different versions of these live recordings. Now I bought two triple album sets, and they were getting a bit pricey up there. They were around about $80 odd, $70 to $80 for a 3-record set, which I guess isn't too bad. That's what justifies me paying for them. They're paying for that amount for them, because the single LPs I'm sort of looking at the cheaper ones are around $50 to $60. Unfortunately, some of them are getting a bit more pricey than that. So I picked up 2 boxes. I'm not sure if I sold them, but they're in my collection in the big pile over there somewhere. But I did find some box sets of some of these concerts that they're releasing, and I picked up 2 of them, and they were on. Now these are really cool. So these are from I can't recall what the name of the record label is because it's not easy to read. Oh, Fuzz! Just a minute. I've got to change this off. These are from an outfit called Fuzz Club, and they're box sets. And now, which one's this? So I picked this one up, Live in Adelaide. So they're a 3-record set. Now they pushed them onto 3 records. They probably could have got away with 2, but barely, because they would have then had to push it all together. So they're not long sides per se, but they're really well packaged. They're on nice heavy vinyl with the nice heavy cardboard. They come with this big poster. I'll just show you this one. They come with this big poster of the cover art, like so. So that's pretty cool. Pretty cool artwork. They're only on black vinyl, aren't they? Yes. But they come with nice plastic lined paper sleeves, which is cool. And then they come with these, so you've got the track listing on there. And it's really hard to read font. And you got these patterns on the back, blah, blah, blah. So these are really... I paid $40, less than $40 for this box set and the other one. Which is... so what was this? This one's Live in Adelaide. And then I picked up... This one was Live in Asheville, 2019, I think these were. So they're just pretty cool artwork. I was really impressed. I like that. So again, 3-record set, heavy duty box set, poster, $40, man. And this in New Zealand, that is a bargain. They would originally apparently priced at $120. So I bought those, and then I found 2 more, and I don't know if it was on the same shop. I think it probably was. So I bought them. So I got this one, Live in London, again from 2019. Again, triple LP box set, heavy duty cardboard, great, cool artwork, really cool. $40. And the last one, finally, is Live in Brussels, and they're $40. Excellent. What a score. I saw a couple of these on another site in New Zealand. They were selling for $119. So yeah, I like the artwork. So again, like I say, each one has a big poster version of the art that you can see there. They're soundboard recordings, official recordings, unofficial official bootleg recordings. So I got 4 box sets. But turned out that this one, the Brussels one and the London one, they were the ones that I already bought copies of in a different format. Just a triple gatefold. One's coloured vinyl, one is not. By a different label, and I can't remember the name of them. So like I say, different labels release different versions of these official bootlegs. So that's cool. I'll keep hold of those. Even though I've got 2 copies of the same LP, triple LP. I'm not too worried, especially because I only paid $40 each for them. So wow, that is a real good bargain. So I'll be keeping my eye open for some more of those. I know Fuzz Club have done some more box sets, and maybe a couple more that I haven't got, and then they did some single LPs or just some standard gatefold type LPs. So I don't know if they, and I don't know if they're going to do any more of these box sets or not, and I don't know whether I'll be able to pick them up for that cheap. Don't really fancy paying $120 for them, to be honest. They're good. They're good records, but they're just live soundboard recordings, so they're not like fantastic, and it's all. Yeah, how many live ones do you need? Well, that's what I keep saying about Neil Young, and I keep buying them. But anyway, so that's me for April and for Record Store Day. Hope you enjoyed the video, and we'll see you again next time.